Welcome to Ravens Over. Please go to my channel, also hit the notification bell, like this video and share. I was online and I came across an interesting article I want to share with you about the gays inside of church. Welcome to
Hey, what's up? How you doing? How you been? What's going on? What's good? Are you getting it in? Somebody getting it for you? What's going on, people? Subscribe to my channel.
I thought it was an interesting article and I want to share with you because I thought it was very good and it's very much true in a lot of things that was actually said. This story has been reported back in May 2012. Blacks, gays, and the church, a complex relationship. Now it's stating that fairly or not, African Americans has become the public face of resistance in the same-sex marriage, following that the religious belief outspoken opposition of many black pastors. Yet the presence of gays and lesbians in the black churches is common, and the fact that they often hold leadership positions in the congregation is worse kept secret in black America. While many black pastors condemn gays and lesbians from the pulpit and the choir load behind them often are filled with gay singers and musicians, some male pastors themselves has engaged in a scandal involving alleged affairs with men. Persons who are in the closet serves in the deacon board, serves as a ministry, serves in the capacity of the church. The Reverend Dennis W. Wiley, pastor of Covenant Baptist Church, Covenant Baptist United Church of Christ in Maryland, says that the black churches now, the Pastor Dennis is a prominent advocate of the gay marriages. I do believe a certain hypocrisy is there. President Obama recently announced that he supports the same-sex marriage and turned the spotlight on the reservations many blacks harbor about gay rights. Now, most polls show that African Americans eventually divided about gay marriages, but the vocal opposition leads to the pastor and gain more attention. The particular decision I found appalling is that I could not disagree with the president. The particular decision I found appalling, and I could not disagree with the president more of it. The Reverend Pastor Wooden, senior pastor of Upper Room Church of God in the church in North Carolina, said at NPR, all things considered. Now this pastor, Patrick, helped lead the recent campaign that outlawed gay marriages in the state. Now last week, the National Association for the Advance of the Colored People passed a resolution endorsing same-sex marriages as a civil rights and protected for the United States Constitution. Church reap benefits. Some say pastors' hostility cuts hard against the history of how countless black churches are flourished. Now, the gay singers and musicians and composers have been the driving force for developing popular gospel choirs, even chart-topping Grammys winning that made money for the church, help expand congregation and raise the profiles of the pastor. It is often under unspoken don't ask, don't tell custom that allows gay people to be active in the church through the closet and the churches who reap the benefits of their membership. Some say that the arrangement is not only hypocritical but exploratory. On the one hand, you nurture about the choir, but you always have to sit through some of those fire and brainstorm sermons as far as homosexuality being an abomination. He says that E. Patrick Johnson, an openly gay gospel singer and author, Sweet Tea of Oral History of Black Gay Men in the South. But a lot of these choirs in the church, a lot of these choirs of the choir director and the ministry of the musician, the music will not open up about their sexuality for fear of repercussions from the pastor and the church member, but allow the church to exploit their talents, says Johnson, and also Northwestern University professor whose expertise include black studies of sexuality. Johnson and others believe that the modern gospel music itself is largely defined by the artistry of a black man. Bishop Yvette of Oakland, California, is openly gay and the founder of the Fellowship or Organization of the Black Pastors, and the church is openly willing of lesbian, bisexual, and transgender members. Now, Yvette, once doing a 2010 interview, the gospel choir has always have been heavens for the LGBT. In your expressions, that wasn't a problem. It was Christianity that demonized gay people. As Johnson put, you can't throw a shoe back through history without hitting a gay or lesbian person, or even a transgender singer. Johnson described the church choirs as a welcoming community within a community while you meet other gay people, so it becomes a form of socializing. And commentator Keith, who is African American gay, calls it paradox. The church might be most homophobic about and homo-tolerant of its institution in the black community. Wood in the Pass of North Carolina agrees that the presence of gays and lesbians in the choir of the church ministry reveals that the hypocrisy and the hypocrisy of the black church. The thing that bothers me is that these people are also taken advantage of. As long as they can sing, people look the other way. However, when it says we are not all homophobic, he says we welcome members of the LGBTQ community of worship in the church. He says that the church also has continued to support gay members who have contacted HIV and AIDS. You know what? Anyway, let me finish. Let me just finish. Unlike some of the other churches that ostracize him in a practice that many people on both sides of the issues say has been common, but that's where Wooden's self-described sense of fairness is. The forbids LGBTQ people in the participation of the choir of any other church ministry. If you love them, truly love them, you will love them in the truth of the front side. Wooden says, we believe that homosexuality is a sin. Those who serve, you want their lifestyle to uphold in the standards of the church. This is no unlimited homosexual or lesbians. If I know an individual who is committed adultery living with a member of the opposite sex who are not married to, they cannot serve either. Look at you playing God. Coincidence, whether closeted or not, a small but giving number of churches such as the Wiley Flundered City of Refuge United Church of Christ publicly welcomes LGBTQ members, and the ranks of swelling the people leaving intolerant churches. But many others say that they are torn between the allowance of their church, which forms of cultural and institutional backbone of black communities, and their desire to live free in homophobia. They often choose the form of conviction of their sexuality as a sin. They would rather suppress their identity to denounce their church, says Sharon Letterman Hicks, executive director of the National Black Justice Coalition LGBTQ advocacy group. I have seen people refuse to divorce themselves from church in spite of ignorance and spews in the pulpit. It's their way of repenting. They victimize themselves through their self-expression. Gospel music superstar, megachurch pastor Dominic Kirkin shocked the non-gospel world years ago by revealing in his 2001 book that God delivered him from his gay lifestyle, and that he said, give me a second, I had to take that in for a second. Donnie McKirkland. Anyway, Donnie McKirkland is still shocked about. Donnie McKirkland shocked that. Okay, let me read that over again. Gospel music superstar, megachurch pastor Donnie McKirkland shocked the non-gospel world years ago by revealing in a 2001 book that God delivered him from his gay lifestyle, and that he said that as a result of being sexually abused as a boy, here we go, Donnie, who has said that being gay is a choice. Should I be writing this down so I can go back to it's a choice. Okay. We're criticized by the gay community for sending back the LGBT goers for gaining acceptance, while gospel music star Tonics Alex Charles Williams II came out 2009. The gospel music world turned on him The his record sales plunged. He left his family church while he was a pastor and reinvented himself as B. Slade, now one of the favorite LGBTQ music scenes. Rise of black homophobia morally turns political. For decades, black ministers addressed LGBTQ people in the ministry only occasionally. There were true, even as HIV and AIDS began claiming the lives of numerous African American men in churches and black churches, especially gospel singers in the early 1990s. By 2004, a number of high-profile ministers engaged in an outspoken opponent of the same-sex marriage as part of their alignment as far as the Conversation Christian movement, which helped re-elect President George W. Bush that year. Black ministers and black lawmakers helped pass gay marriages ban in several states. In exchange, ministers received federal funds for their community programs through the Bush Faith-Based Initiative. In 2006, the National Black Justice Coalition held the first Black Church Summit in Atlanta, in which the Reverend Al Sharpton became the highest-profile pastor and denounced homophobia and called the greater inclusion of LGBT people. Pastors no strangers to gay sex scandals. Okay, read that again. Pastors no strangers to gay sex scandals. The pastor's behavior of some male pastors, many of them also gospel singers, also have stroked rumors led to a scandal. Bishop Eddie Long. Oh, here we go. Bishop Eddie Long. Eddie Long stroking. The leader of one of the national largest black churches in the suburban Atlanta was sued 2010 by 3 young men who claimed that Long coerced them into a sexual relationship. Long denied the accusers, and the case was settled out of court. The controversy was all of the more noticeable because Long was a prominent supporter of the Georgia's gay marriage ban, passed in 2004. So basically, 2004, he made sure that the gay marriages wouldn't be passed. Kind of like Jim McGreevey, I think that's his name. They go against the gay marriages because they was gay, but yet and still they try to go against it because you're getting too close to this sin. Okay, we have to stay focused. Okay. In the proposal to 90 states constitution ban, he ranked the many civil rights veterans when he and the Reverend Patrice King, a daughter of Martin Luther King, and Coretta Scott King, who supported gay marriage, led to the march and the protest of same sex that started the King family crib. Some of the colleagues protest too greatly, while he said, prior to the accusing against Long, more conservatives rarely escape mention inside the black communities about the gospel music rose the Bay Area in 1970, that argumentally the most visible presence of LGBTQ members in the black churches, just as the broader gay rights movement gains momentum in the region, that the Love Ascension Church of Oakland, California, founded by the late Bishop Walter Hawkins, one of the gospel music biggest stars in 1970 and in 1980, made ways for the welcoming of gays and black and gays and lesbians following the 1991 death of Reverend James Cleveland. I was just playing his music. The gospel music legend, regardless of the kings of the gender male members, that Cleveland choir sued his estate, claiming that he had contracted HIV due to his 5-year relationship with one of the singing icons. The lawsuit was settled out of court. Okay, y'all. That was a long read. And I don't want to make this video too long because I already got down to 13 seconds. Okay, I got to sum this up a little quick because I don't want to be on it too long. But it's not unfamiliar when you go into a black church, they always talk about the gay thing. Oh, I got to say it. Homosexual was a sin. And I got to praise it. And then he over there banging the wife of his girlfriend's friends. A girl sitting in the congregation with legs all up with her panties off. Oh yeah. Oh, it's scandal, and it's sad. To me, my personal opinion, y'all will sit on God's platform and attack his children right in front of him. That's like, to me, my personal opinion. I bring my child over to your house. That's my child. That's not your child. That's my child. You take my child, slap him right in the face. And I said, well, why did you hit my child? Well, your child looked at me funny and disrespect me. No one disrespect me. And I don't like the way your child looked at me. And I don't like the way your child do certain things. So I slapped your child in the face. I gave your child a spanking in front of me. Oh, no, 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 boo-boo. That's my child. You don't put your hands on my child. You don't judge. When you have a problem with my child, you come see me. That's what they're supposed to do. If you have a problem with somebody at church, you go to God and say, God, I need you to talk about this person. God, can you help them? But at that point, you said, no, God, don't worry about this one. I got this myself. Let me just tell you what I'm going to do, God. You just sitting back and you just watch how to handle your child. So now I sit up there and I tell your child, well, you know what? You're going to hell. And God be like, well, didn't I create it all, y'all? Oh, we got it, God. We don't need you to join in. Oh, okay. But you sit in my church, you sit in my house, and you telling me, oh, okay. Okay. Now remember, I created you, so I know everything you're doing. I know when you're lying and when you're not lying. I know when you're doing things and ain't doing things. I'm in the room and you think nobody's in the room watching you do things inside that shit, sheets and the beds that you don't think I see, but I see you. Because you think you're being slick about it. But I see you when you're going over and you knocking on that transgender door and you doing all that ugly things with her. And you walk over to get to your wife and you tell your wife you don't even like them things. I see you. I see you. I see you how you tell your wife you love and you got another family on the side. I see you. I see how you tell other men how you hate gay people, but you got a boyfriend. 2 men together. I see. I see how you're a woman and you say, oh, I can't understand other women than other women when all these men are out here and yet you have a girlfriend. I see you. See, God sees everything. You can lie to everybody else. Remember, he's watching everything you do. Even me watching me making this video right now, saying it to you. Sees everything. There is no shut off switch. But for some reason, people say, oh, no, what, God, I got it. Don't worry about it. And that's what we call playing God. Because you're not. That's not your place. But they do that. Okay, let me just go back on a little bit further down here. It says the HIV and AIDS. They always make it a gay disease. They link it together. And I understand where it comes from, the past of the 70s and 60s. I guess beyond that, probably before. People probably died for a lot of things before. But AIDS is nothing but a form of cancer. Stuff like that. Sexually transmitted disease, VD, gonorrhea, herpes, chlamydia, all that. Sexually diseases, but they only pick out HIV. So they don't take the woman to the church. If you got VD, you can't come here. Oh my God, you got chlamydia. Oh my God, you got herpes. Oh my God. They don't do that. They don't say all these diseases, straight people. None of that gets brought up in the church. Only the gay one. And I find it to be amazing. But we live in a hypocrite world, so I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. How many abortions you had? Oh, I was raped. Oh, that's what the gay people use. Oh, I was homosexual because I was raped. And homosexual is a choice. A.K. Donald McKirkland, allegedly, this is what he stated. He wrote a book about it. Want to hear it? Here it goes. 2001, the book delivered from him of gay lifestyles that he was the result of being molested, sexually abused as a boy. But he hasn't found a girlfriend yet. So if you ain't got no girlfriend, well, what's going on? You still waiting? You straight now. You been delivered. I'm not gay no more. Who was in the, what's his name? Andrew Clay, who was in the Hangar, the gay club, a few months back. After that, he was in a gay club, stuff like that. Channel, please. You know, the thing about it is that I've always said this before, and I'm going to say this again. Until you can love you and accept all of you, and I mean everything about you, because we're not perfect, we're flawed, we make mistakes, we fall down a lot more than most. Well, I fall down a lot more than most, but I'm not perfect, and I never claim to be perfect. I told you before, you're not on this channel because I'm perfect. You're on this channel because you know Raven is just like you. Raven falls down, maybe a lot more than all y'all. But one thing about Raven falling down, guess what Raven do? Get right back up. Who said that song? I think it's Donnie McClurkin. We fall down, but we get up. Anyway, so that's the thing about that part there. And Eddie Long, of course, with the molestation of the 4 boys, allegedly he molested all 4 of them and stuff. They was upset and stuff, and he coerced them into saying that, about the whole molestation. He ended up dying and stuff from AIDS and stuff, allegedly. And it stated that, he went through this whole turmoil within that. And the guys have been really, really mentally messed up behind that. He came across as a father figure, a little short draft. I did discern him before. I really don't want to retract it, but I will real quick in case you don't know who he is. He basically was like allegedly supposed to be like a big father to the boys and stuff, with taking bomb little kids, stuff like that, and having sex with them and stuff like that behind the scenes. They settled with the money out of court, stuff like that, a disclosed amount. That being said, there's a lot more Eddie Longs out there. There could be a lot more to come. And the thing about it, the activity of homosexuality is very active within the church. When I used to go to church and stuff, and I know I'm making this video too long, but when I used to go to church and stuff, and should I share that with y'all? I don't know if I should share that, but I'm gonna share it with you anyway, in case anyway. So when I went to church and stuff, and I knew I was gay, and I didn't want to be gay, so I would go to church and stuff, ask God to take it out of me. I would cry and ask God why He hated me so much, because when y'all was put me to this bad name, and they were, you're gonna burn, you're gonna go to hell, it's hot in hell, oh God, you're gonna burn. People constantly said that about me, because I kind of knew that I was gay when they saw me. They would just go right there on me. Even though I was having a lot of suicide thoughts and they didn't really care, unless I was a target, they would target me so much, and it would increase my suicidal thoughts to the point I started trying to commit suicide. God kept saying, wake up, you ain't gonna be. So at the end of the day, I sit back and I was like, oh my God, I go to church. So I asked God, why you hated me so much? Why would you do this to me? I kept trying to pray it out. And I stayed away from gay people. I didn't talk about them, but I stayed away from them because I was scared that if one of them would have got around me, they would have turned me out. And I didn't want to be around them. I knew what they looked like. They had grease in their hair. They was flamboyant. Little did I know that gay people don't look gay. I thought they looked a certain way because that's what I was taught. I thought it was a guy, he had flaming clothes on, lip gloss on, he's snapping fingers and popcorn. I didn't know a gay man could look like a straight man, hardcore, thug, beat you up, killers. I didn't know these people existed. I thought they was just straight because they was crazy. But here it is, gay come a lot of ways. They don't look gay, they look straight. Gay women come a lot of ways. Since I've been on this side of the fence, gay women look straight. There is no rule caption to people who are gay. There are no rules. They don't look a certain way. You can't put them in the box. But they do know when you say something about them. Piggyback off what I was saying. Guys at the church, they was like, you're going to burn to hell. You're going to go to hell. I went home after that comment. I laid across the bed and I would just go, God, why do you hate me so much? And I would just cry. And I stayed away from gays, stuff like that. I stayed away from stuff like that. And it was just a lot mental abuse that was coming for me. Then I got to the point I wanted to commit suicide. I got to the point I was out of here. This was it. I'm leaving. I can't stop being what I am. I done tried everything. I tried to pray the gateway. It ain't working. Everything in this world taught me how to hate myself, and I started doing hating on myself because I was taught it from the church, and I felt like people on the street told me, everybody told me that they hated me, and the only thing in my mind is I was the only person feeling like this. I'm the only person hurting like this. I'm the only person everybody hates. I'm the only person feeling. I had no idea there was more gay people in the world like me. I just thought it was me. I knew something was wrong. I knew I had to get rid of something that was wrong. And I was the thing that was wrong because I was told that I was a bad person and I was going to burn in hell. So I laid them there. I went to church, and then I was like, today I'm going to commit suicide. I'm out of here. So I went to the churches and stuff. And then I went to the church, and the one church closed the door, and they said, well, you got here too late. You can't come in. I said, okay, fine. I remember I'm about to commit suicide. They done closed the door on me, told me I'd get away. So then I go to the next church, stuff like that, sitting in church. I'm broken. I'm about ready to commit suicide. I ain't saying a word because I feel like that if you want to commit suicide, you don't tell nobody that. You just go and do it. And that's what I'm going to do. And I already figured out what I was going to do. Got to the church. The pastor asked me to come to the back. I said, come to the back. Okay, I was about to say, you know what? The Lord has told me something. I said, where you from? I told him where I was from. He said, well, when we get off, he said, I'm going to come up to your house. I said, well, I'm about to go clean my room. What's going on here? He said, I'll help you come clean your room. This is a pastor in Newark. So I was like, oh, no, that's okay. That's quite all right. So he's like, well, you sure you don't want me to come? He takes his hand and put it on my leg. I'm looking at him. So, oh, my God. Here we go. So then I left out the church. Okay, fine. Didn't go back to that church. Went to another church. Went to another church up the street. Went to that one. So went there. Got in the church. I'm saying I'm broken. I'm going to do it. I'm still baiting. I'm about to lead it to where I can't stand being. Get in the church. I went. So before I could go to church, I would go jogging in the morning. I would go jog. I would do 7 miles, and I would come back home, get washed up, get dressed, go to church. Go to church. Got to church. Tired from exhaustion from rich church. Got in the church. I'm sitting in church, and I was tired. I said, I need to get some water. The pastor stopped me and says, well, one of the congregation stopped me and said, why do you need water? I said, because I'm really thirsty. You're on drugs. The Lord has revealed to me you're on drugs. I said, no, I'm not. You are. You have to accept the Lord Jesus Christ here. I was like, I went jogging this morning. No, you didn't. That's an excuse you've been using. The Lord has told me. I was like, please get off of me. Let me get out of here. This is not the spot I need to be in. Don't run from that's the devil pulling you away. That's not what it, no, you rebuke the devil. You sin, repent. I said, oh, I gotta go. Listen, I gotta go. Went to another church. Now remember, I'm about to commit suicide. I'm going from church to church to church. They don't even know why I really did. I'm broken. So anyway, so I get to the next church and stuff, and get there and stuff, and I didn't have the best of clothes because I was going through hard times, and went to church, put on the suit, shoes and stuff. Look, obviously it was not the best of clothes because I was having a hard time. I only wore what I had. Got in the church, the preacher man saw me there, and he looked at me. He said, I never forget it. And remember, I'm giving them $1, which money I don't have. So I got to, I went, asked for them. Anybody want to join this church? I was like, nah, let me just sit and watch. I'm going to give a little dollar. You know, you give a little offering. You come into their church, you give them a little dollar and stuff. All I had was a few dollars. I was broke. Seemed like I haven't graduated from that situation as of yet. But, went and put my money and everything, got to the thing, dropped my money off. You know, you have to walk into the preacher, and then you drop your money in the love offering, and I dropped it in, started walking back. He saw me walking back, said, you come in here with your dirty suits on, your ran over shoes. I said, oh my God, he is reading me as I'm walking down the church. This man is reading me. And everybody's looking at me. I'm like, oh my God, you come at my church, your old suits and your ran over shoes. I sat down in the back. I was like, wow. I felt like I had a tongue lashing. I was hurt. I sat there. I was like, okay. So now at this point, I was like, okay, now that I've been read, he done read me my Miranda rights without being a, cop. At this point, I'm like, I'm getting out of here. This man is crazy. So I get ready to get up and get out. He runs to the door and he kick his offering plate. He stands by the door. Y'all want to leave? I said, oh my God, what is this? Y'all want to leave? He stands by the door, offering. In order to leave out the church, you have to give him another offering. So it's the piggyback off of the conversation show, just to let you know what's going on in the churches. It's not what it seems to be. The reason why I don't even go to church now. I don't go anymore. Some people still do, I don't. But I know a lot of things happen inside the church. People are not what they claim to be. A lot of sinners sit in church, and some people are there for men reasons, some people are there for other reasons and other reasons. But it's a lot of things that's contradiction when it comes down to church. And I thought it was a very good read that I see somebody had basically sprung on a conversation. That I thought it was really good and stuff. And I appreciate this little article and stuff. I know I probably went overboard talking about too much stuff, but I wanted to make this video short. But unfortunately, I made it long, so forgive me. But I just wanted to share this with you because I know a lot of y'all probably have had church experiences that really shocked you. Now remember, this is called God's church. It's like a hospital. It's a place for healing, mentally, spiritually. You know, it's a close to the God. It's a come to God moment, aha moment, or wade in the water. Something. But honey, you go to that church when you finish going, and you just like, it's like you just walked out of prison. You're like, oh my God, what just happened? And it happens a lot. It happens a lot. And it was so weird in so many levels. And to the suicide part, well, I actually went along and I did it. I tried to commit suicide, and I was with this guy, and I ended up trying to do it. I ended up in a hospital. They chained me to the bed. They started sticking what's that charcoal down my throat. Listen to this. I'm in a Christ hospital in Jersey City. So I'm in a Christ hospital. They chained me to the bed. It's not funny, but and it's funny because when I was about to do it, the doctor had me on some really stress pills, and I was like, it was like everybody was worried about me, and I didn't want to be here. Like it was like, well, suicide is selfish. I ain't want to listen. I ain't want to hear none of your damn stories and nothing. I was like, I'm done. Well, this I don't want to hear it. Well, that's a coward way. Well, then I'm a coward. And when you've been beat down enough, you don't give a damn what nobody can say no more. This is why. This is why I tell you, once you accept all of you, can't nobody touch you. Sure, maybe I'm different now. Sure, maybe I'm a more evil now, much more strong. But it's an old saying goes, whatever don't kill you, make you stronger. And I was stronger after that. But then that's when inside the hospital is when I go into the spiritual thing. Well, I'm not going to make it to this video. It's a much more deeper. It goes deeper than that. But in the hospital, a spiritual thing happened to me in there. But I'm not going to share that part. If y'all want to hear that part, I'll let y'all comment on here. Y'all let me know if y'all want to hear this part about the spiritual thing that happened to me inside the hospital, and it'll kind of play on a lot of other things. But I'll be watching your comments if y'all want to hear. But if you're not, it's fine too. You probably won't even watch the video anyway. But it is what it is. Too scared of what I'm going to say. But if you're the person that's gay, that you don't understand, and you feel like I'm an abomination, that is called brainwashing. They brainwashed me to hate me. And God brought me back, said, I didn't say that. That's what they said. The books are written by them. I made you, I created you, so why would I hate you? Though, think about that. If I made you and I created you, why would I hate you? Guess what they're saying? Sure, God hates fags. God hates. I didn't say that. That's what they said. I didn't say that. Can you imagine being lied on? Can you imagine being a child of God and people telling you that your God hates you? And they look you in the face and they say, repent? Can you imagine that? Then when you found out that you've been brainwashed to hate you, you start repeating scriptures of what the pastor done said, because they done brainwashed you to hate you. It's powerful. Then you wonder why so many people on drugs. Especially a man. A lot of men are gay. And guess what they do? They suffer in silence. They don't tell nobody. They get real quiet. They don't say nothing. You know why? Because he know you're going to put him down. And if he open up to you, he's scared you're going to tell everybody. So guess what he do? He get high, he get drunk, he become absent, he finds a woman, knock her up, find another one, knock her up too. Just have a whole bunch of people, don't care about none of them. He's doing everything for other people's way, and he ain't doing nothing for himself. Women be like, I don't understand, I do everything for men, and they don't treat us right because he might be not into you. Maybe his soulmate is another man. That's why he's wasting time with you, and you wasting your time with him because you think you found a man, and your man in love with men. But he ain't gonna tell you that because the world unfixed him. The fix we orchestrated for you. He don't know who he is no more because they already fixed him. When you fix it for somebody else's happiness, you're never gonna be happy. So guess what he's gonna do? He's gonna go on a DL and he's gonna sneak. And when he sneak around, he gonna make sure it's discreet. Because he don't want nobody to know that he doing it. Or she don't want nobody to know she doing it. And then when she go back home, or he go back home, hey boo, I miss you, baby. He done bust like 6 nuts and she done had like 10 orgasms. And they acting like they ain't did nothing. Because they was doing everything the world said do. But like I said before, God sees all things. So he was there when you was doing it. That's why I say stand in your truth and fight back and be who you are. And you'll be a lot more happier. Sure, you may lose a lot of people, but guess what? They ain't there for you anyway. And nobody can accept you for who you are, then clearly you shouldn't be around them anyway. You should think about that part. Love thyself more than you love thy neighbor. Anyway, I just wanted to share this with you on this day. For some reason, I just felt like sharing this with you. It was real. It spoke out to me, and I thought it was very interesting. Anyway, y'all comment below me if you feel about this. At the top, there's the Instagram button. You follow me, I'll follow you back. Make sure I love you, and thank you for watching. Catch the